first. Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course, good morning, mini Motorways. Let's go to Dar es Salaam for today's daily challenge. There will be no circles, but there will only be one motorway. It's a tiny little village here in Dar es Salaam, I guess. Sunflare Space was here first. Good afternoon, Sunny. Oh, always good to have Sunflare Space here with us. Hold on, let me scroll down. I want to do a thing. _Goog has redeemed your minor Mets news of the day. Your minor Mets news of the day is that they won a baseball game. Thank God. Jeez. Through the most dinky-dunkiest of means and involving Luke Weaver remembering that he's supposed to be very good, the Mets finally won an actual baseball game, and Francisco Lindor strained his calf and will be out for a few weeks. Maybe a month or two. Well, you know, the important thing is that the Mets won, and that's something. Hey, the first step to winning 80 games in a row and going down as the greatest team in the history of baseball is winning one game in a row, right? Right? Oh, man. Okay, it'll be fine. Christian Scott's pitching tonight. He's allegedly good, but, you know, Christian Scott has been allegedly good a few times. Sunflare Space introduced Sam to crowd control yesterday. He might like the idea of being able to mess with games for bits and money. It seems like a reasonable thing if you're doing like fun time party hangout games. I don't know. Like, it seems like a cool thing for, I don't know how to put this more kindly to me, but people with audience. I don't know. I think it is a cool idea. I do have a few little crowd control sound rewards active. Like, I think there's like 50 bits for some noise from The Simpsons or something that I have active, and nobody's ever hit those buttons. Yeah, it might be good for like a subathon or something, but I don't know. Between you, me, and the half dozen YouTube viewers I still have, Sonny, I'm a lot closer to packing this whole thing up than I am to planning for a subathon right now. I don't know. Morale's in the tank. We'll see. Had fun playing UFO 50 on Tuesday. What are we going to do here? We are going to reroute this yellow road, swinging around this way. And then we're going to take these two blues and bop them into this little blue guy over this way. That seems fine. That should indeed be fine. I should theoretically move this red house up here and deal with this red business from these two, but Actually, yeah. Given that there's only going to be the one red house here, that actually does make sense. Alright, you go there. This yellow guy is awkwardly positioned. Can I... Well, I can have a bridge. And I think... Let's... Yeah, I can't cut this corner without using a bridge. So if I want to have these yellows swing around here, I'm doing it bridgedly. And I think we're just going to be okay with the fact that I'm doing this bridgedly. The other option is that I keep the 4 yellows here, and we have... Actually, hold on. This might make a fair whack of sense now that we think about it. Because if we come down here, I can do this, and this is a perfectly cromulent traffic light. This right here is exactly what we want traffic lights to do, and it'll let these 4 houses support these 2 businesses. Until such time as there's anything resembling a spike in demand, at which point we're doomed. But, you know, we'll just not worry about that, obviously. Alright, these dark blues have spawned, which is unfortunate, but we can draw this lengthy road, get them over to here. This one's singular dark blue house in the middle of town is not going to have anything going for it, I don't think. The good folk of Dar es Salaam will just celebrate the abandoned singular dark blue house. No? Alright, fine. Well, what about the two dark blue houses that use the one and exactly one motorway? Maybe we just have the one and exactly one motorway go for these three houses to this dark blue island. That seems somewhat reasonable. Speaking of somewhat reasonable, I think that's how I would describe this situation. It's okay, I guess. It's about all that can be said for it, but, you know. Sometimes things just have to be ... okay, comma, I guess. So I think the plan with UFO 50 is that we're at least going to try all 50. Specifically, all 50 of the games that are part of UFO 50. And it seems reasonable to say, the plan at least, is that we'll try 2 per stream. And we'll see how long that lasts us. This past Tuesday, we did Camouflage, which was a fun little puzzly game where you play as a chameleon that has to get through various terrains. And that was fun until I got overwhelmed, like, you know, all puzzle games ever. And there was also a weird cat platformer thing. And when you say cat platformer, you're expecting something cute. And let me tell you, friends, it was not cute. The distinguishing feature of this platformer was that it was bad. It was, in fact, quite bad. I'm going to take 2 traffic lights instead of a bridge, mostly because we, well, don't have any traffic lights and do have a couple of bridges. So, additionally, we've just got this dark blue to exist now, which, not great, but probably fine. Hold on. Can I sneak? Can I get these yellows if they go up in that away? And then, yep, so these yellows can hoop up here to avoid these dark blues. What if we move motorway number 1 such that it pulls from these 2 dark blues? Could we then not have these right here? We could, in fact, have these right here. And you instead go that away. And now these dark blues are servicing these 2 businesses. And once this motorway depopulates itself, we'll have these 3 serve in a that-way direction. That seems entirely plausible, actually. Like, it seems like a thing that could actually happen. So, I suppose we should be glad of that. Now we have these 3 dark blue houses serving this business. This one red on this island doesn't really have anything to do for itself, but, you know, that'll be fine. Connect to this yellow down here, get more support going for this yellow guy. I don't know what's wrong with the Mets. Well, the Mets made a lot of, like, 65-35 plays, where, like, 65% of the time it's going to be at least fine, and they're getting the 35 result on, like, all of them. They also entrusted a large percent of their offensive output for 2026 on the assumption that 1, Carson Bench is good, and 2, Brett Beatty really was good, and 3, Mark Vientos really wasn't bad. And it turns out that Carson Bench might have been good, but he spent the winter going back to his shitty college coach and unlearning all of the hitting development he's done as a member of the New York Mets. So that's bad. he probably needs to go to AAA for a while and relearn how to unlearn all the stupid shit his shitty college hitting coach taught him, which is annoying. It's not great when you have to unlearn shit. Oh, I was going to do something different with these light blues, but this business here has spawned very conveniently. So that's nice. Should I be at all concerned about these two? I think it might be time. Yeah, let's just pull this down here. Get a third house going for that. I'll take a second roundabout rather than a third and fourth traffic light. We've also got these two reds, which I think we're just going to have to kind of staple here and hope there isn't too much overlap. Also, point of order, this motorway needs to temporarily move so that I can get this third blue house involved in it. That will be fine in the long run. We just need it to despawn from where it is so that I can populate it right back here. Point this dark blue house at it. You know what I'm going for. You see the vision. Here's the vision. Scarlet Witch is very happy. I found the vision. All right, you go that way. You go that way. Bop that. Okay. So 3 purples serve here. 2 purples serve there. This yellow business exists. I could just support it with this yellow house right here, which, yeah, that does make sense, at least as a temporary stopgap measure. But I think for long-term goodness and joy, we're going to do this and then swing the yellow down this way. That gives these 3 yellows here something to do. Give me another bridge, thank you. That gives these 3 yellows here something to do. And make sure that this business is supported with 3, which is good. And generally makes life better and decent for everyone. Now, these 2 yellows are starting to get a little dicey, so I think I'm actually going to put this yellow right here on that, and maybe we'll have to redo this whole everything. Actually, maybe we'll have to redo this whole everything. Okay. So, let's kill this road. I'll put these 2 yellows here. I'm going to peel these 2 yellows away from what they had been doing to get down here. I don't have another motorway. I'm not going to get another motorway. We're not going to bother trying to motorway. We are, in fact, simply having a wonderful yellow time. No? All right, fine. Well, I don't care what you think. That's the title of the episode. Maybe. Depends on whether or not I say anything actually funny in the next, 20 minutes or so. In the meantime, simply having a wonderful yellow time. So yeah, Carson Benj basically broke his swing in attempts to make it better, which he didn't need to do, but as a combination of him not being very smart and the Mets not being able to communicate that he was fine and just needed to keep doing what he was doing, even though the results weren't there at AAA last season. So basically what happened is Carson Benj got promoted to AAA and had what seemed on the stat line like a very bad time. He hit like 160 or something, but basically he just got unlucky for a few weeks and he got hurt. And those are things that happen to dudes. So Carson Benj, the Mets looked at Carson Benj and was like, oh, hey, this dude performed really well at AAA. Yeah, the results weren't there, but he did everything we need him to do to indicate future success. So he should be ready to go. Let's just hand him our starting right field job. And they basically handed him the starting right field job. And then spring training started, and it turned out that Carson Benj had spent the winter fucking up his swing, which is bad. Not a thing you should do, but baseball players are dumb, and he thought he needed help fixing it because his results weren't good at AAA. So he went back to his terrible college hitting coach, his terrible college coach, and was like, "Hey, help me fix my swing, bud." And the terrible college coach was like, "Yeah, I can fix your swing. We'll make it all janky and garbage." And they made his swing all janky and garbage, and now his swing's all janky and garbage, so he can't fucking hit. Which is a problem. So the Mets got to spring training and they were like, oh no, Carson Bench fucked his swing. What are we going to do? Let's sign the best available free agent right fielder, Mike Tauchman, who's, fine. And they signed Mike Tauchman, who's, fine. And the idea, I'm sure, was that either Carson Bench was going to unfuck his swing, or Carson Bench's fucked swing was going to work, or they were going to send him down to AAA to re-unfuck his swing and just have Mike Tauchman be the right fielder for a few weeks, and that would generally be fine. And then Mike Tauchman got hurt. He tore his meniscus and has been out for the whole season and will continue to be out for several more weeks. So they didn't really have anything to do with the starting right field job other than hand it to Carson Bench and hope he didn't suck, and, well, they handed it to Carson Bench and he sucks. So this is a problem. This problem is compounded by the fact that they signed Jorge Polanco, dude who always gets hurt, and he got hurt. It's a problem. It's not what you want. Ideally, when you sign dudes who always get hurt, you want them to not get hurt. But instead, Jorge Polanco got hurt. And it turned out that Brett Beatty's one almost good, useful season was, in fact, a flash in the pan, and he is not almost good or useful. He is, in fact, almost useful and bad, which is not what you want, but, these are things that happen. So the plan had been that Brett Beatty would play 5 or 6 days a week and play 4 different positions and be really good at all of them, and instead he's playing 5 days a week and playing 3 or 4 positions and being really bad at them. Because, the idea was that he would play a lot of second base and maybe some third base and a little bit of first base, and every once in a while we might stick him in right field just for yucks to see what happens. And instead he's been playing right field more days than not, and it turns out he's really bad at right field. So that's a problem. That's not what you want. Also, it turns out that the plan for the starting rotation was we're just going to run it back from last season and add Freddie Peralta and hope that either David Peterson or Kodai Senga fixes themselves. And it turns out that neither David Peterson nor Kodai Senga actually fixed themselves. So they're both very bad. Additionally, Jonah Tong, guy who can't throw a glove side pitch to save his fucking life, and you kind of need one of those to pitch in the big leagues, still can't throw a glove side pitch to save his fucking life, and you need one of those to pitch in the big leagues, so they have one fewer replacement from the minors coming up for all of the dudes who suck and are bad. But hey, Christian Scott's pitching today, and he might be good until he gets hurt again, because, Christian Scott's another one of those, Jorge Polanco type guys, guys who are good but get hurt. So Christian Scott should hopefully be fun until he gets hurt, at which point they'll have Will Watson, who didn't even have the courtesy of making it to the big leagues before he turned out to be a mirage, or perhaps Jack Wenninger, who has not yet turned into a mirage, or yeah. But, Max Fried wanted a whole bunch of money, and Michael King would have cost them a draft pick. And yeah. 1,992 commuters over 84 days is, I'm just going to preload my slam here. I don't think it's a good score, but we'll see. It's a number. It's top 4% of the world, and still 17 fellas short of the arbitrary goal we set for ourselves. Sadness and failure for me, the _Goog. Let us bring in our good friend, the Wordle. Hello, the Wordle. Hopefully we are better at the Wordle today than we were yesterday. Stupid second frickin' 5-letter words. All right. The Wordle today is sweat. The Wordle today is not sweat, but we've gotten a fair decent amount of information out of that, so that's good. The Wordle today is Well, it can't be sweet because there's no S. It could be tweet. The wordle today is tweet. The wordle today is tweet. Hey, hey. Speaking of tweet, specifically tweet, which is not actually meet, but this is a tangent. Did y'all see the Coyote versus Acme trailer? Saw the Coyote versus Acme trailer came out yesterday. It looks good. Looks like a good, fun movie that, you know, if Warner Brothers had just released it 2-3 years ago when this whole kerfluffle started over this movie, it would have made like a reasonable sum of money, and critics would have been over the moon for it, and not much else would have happened. Instead, there was 3 years of garbage nonsense, and now it's a whole internet meme, and some other studio's gonna make a whole bucket of money. Cool. Also, it looks really fun. It looks like a good, fun movie. John Cena playing fake serious. Also Looney Tunes. Good times. All right. Today is apparently March 32nd of... I don't think that's right, guys. Friends, you might... Okay, well... Listen, this is March 32nd. This is the First National Bank of Boston. Presumably that means we're in Boston, Massachusetts. There's no guarantee of that, but we're going to go with it. Also, this here bridge was built in 1910, which sets us a lower bound. These cars here are more, I feel, late 40s for this one and early 50s for this. So let's get some more sense of our cars. Okay, these are all early 1950s ass motor vehicles. We are in Boston, Massachusetts in 1953. That seems reasonable. That's the year my mom was born. It was 1962, I see. An automated billboard displays today's date. I say accidentally tapping my mute button. At the Charles MTA station as March 32. The mechanical sign defaulted to the non-existent date on April Fool's Day. Aha! So it was programmed to just tick, 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 and on April 1st, somebody would have gone in and fixed it, but they were on strike, so nobody fixed it, so it turned into a funny. Got it. Also, this was 1962, so that's unfortunate. Next, we got a whole bunch of folk on a car, specifically Army folk. Hi there, Army folk. What manner of folk are ye? Might ye be Volk, actually? Should I perhaps be putting a little more German in that folk? Ist there ein Volk? Possibly. Possibly not. This sure does appear to be a whole bunch of military folks driving through a city. Possibly. This is like a victorious American... What? I can't imagine why this style of facial covering never caught on. All right. Listen, I'm sure it's a great little facial windscreen when you're out on your bike. But... okay. We're gonna guess that these are victorious conquering American soldiers? I don't know, man. If I was a person who recognized military uniforms, I would take one look at this. And that's an elbow. What? What? Oh, that is it. Okay. Okay, you're right. Okay. All right, so I was just looking down here. I thought this was like a thing that this person would put over their face to keep their face warm that just happened to make them look like Joe Camel. It is, in fact, this lady's elbow. It's just this lady's elbow. Okay, fine. All right, fine. This is... Yep. This is all fine. So if I was a person who recognized military uniforms, I would take one look at this and say, yes, these are definitely triumphant British soldiers rolling into Berlin on VE Day or something. I don't know. It could be that. It could be... Well, they're certainly not conquering Germans, because I don't think there would be this many folk out here to pleasantly celebratorily greet the conquering Germans. Also, we have signage that says, Passage on Reichsbüro Lison Lindemann. Okay, that could be German. It could presumably be German. What do we got here? We got nonsense. Got it. We got stuff I can't read. Cool. This could be Berlin. This could be Amsterdam. We're just going to say it's Berlin, Germany, 1945. That seems entirely reasonable. And if it's not that, it's something akin to that. Berlin, Germany, 1945 is The Hague. It's The Hague. It was kind of sort of nearer to Amsterdam, but it was in fact 1945, so that's something. Next, we got a whole bunch of flooded nonsense. Seems bad. TIL Ding Dang is an actual place. There's a song lyric that goes from Bangkok to Ding Dang, and it's all about how this one guy is really in love with his Asian girlfriend. And I just assumed it was casual white people college racism, because, well, the entire character it's about is an example of casual college white people racism. Turns out, Ding Dang, actual place. Anyway, Ding Dang is somewhere near Safang Kwai and Don Muang, so it's got that going for it. What language is this? This is Taiwanese? Maybe? Possibly? Could that be... I don't know. It is certainly not one that I can immediately identify. But, this up here is a sign for Tannenlat Frau. Okay. Tannenlat Frau is a Solarian you meet on the Citadel who gives you a fetch quest. I think so. That sounds right. This over here is, yeah, there's a whole bunch of signage in a language that I'm only half certain I recognize. So, let's, I don't know, man. Is that the Philippines? That's not Taiwan, is it? No. Maybe not Taiwan, but maybe Thailand? Could it be Thailand? Possibly. Hey, question. Where the fuck? Well, I found Thailand, and I found Bangkok. Would be greater if I could find, Ding Dang, but I don't see. All right, now yesterday, Samurai Sam indicated that you can zoom in real tight and close on places here and try to see if the script matches that. And you know what? To his credit, it appears to be working, because I can't read this, but I can say that this script right here does seem similar enough to this script right here that I'm going to say this is probably the same language. So it's got that going for it. So we're probably in Thailand. Is Ding Dang like, hi, Sam. Speak of the very religious dude who's opposed to the existence of the devil, and he shall appear. Where the fuck is Ding Dang? It's a good question to which I don't presently have an answer, but I think we're going to find out. We are in, or perhaps near, Bangkok, Thailand in, I don't know, man. When was there a lot of flooding in Thailand? My dude here has... Oh, this is a walkie-talkie, so that's not very helpful. This might be a phone, and if it's a phone, it's a brick, so that's a bit older. Nothing in the way of modern phonage over here. I have not cheated yet. The only information I've received is the knowledge that what I thought was a face muff was actually a lady's elbow. So... We are in Bangkok, Thailand in 2011. We are in Bangkok, Thailand in 2011. Good job, Goog. Okay. I don't know how I made that pull, but I did, so. Oh, if I was a person who recognized domes, this would be very easy, but it's not, so. All right, so we got car. This car here has a license plate. Unfortunately, not one that identifies like a state or nothing. These traffic lights do seem very American, so possibly this is the US of A. And if it is that the backside of... No, that's not the backside of the Capitol building. Crap. Could this be San Francisco? On account of the streetcars? I feel as though I'm supposed to know things about things that are in this picture. And unfortunately, I don't. This... Oh, God, I know I've seen this badge on a car before, but I can't tell you what manner of car it is, and I can't quite read whatever this is saying. It looks like it's saying Gloflios, which isn't a word or a car manufacturer. You have a couple of M's. Mike Mazanin is very inspired by this logo. Let's see here. And again, and again, What about me? What about Raven? No? Alright, I give up. We are in San Francisco, California in 19... Don't move the... No, we already had a 19 Don't Move the Thing. We are in San Francisco, California in 1950. Sure, that seems plausible. Not by any means likely, but we were, in fact, in Prague. Yep. Yeah, that was just ever so slightly... Yeah, I probably should have realized that if it had a license plate and the license plate didn't say California, that was a good indicator that we were not in California. Yeah. Yeah, okay, fine. I don't know how I could have pulled Prague, but I should have reasonably pulled the Eastern Hemisphere, at least. Sad. Next. Oh, we've got a World Cup rally. That's good, I guess. Go the World Cup. We also have us a Union Jack. And, oh hey, I have an idea. I have a thought. Just a thought. An idea as to when this might be. Just the concept of a guess, of a plan, of a hint of an idea. So, we're starting in London, and we're going to Munich, and it's 1974. We are in jolly London town in 1974. Whereabouts? Haven't a clue. Not going to bother. We're going to say we're at Tower Bridge, even though we're not. We are in London, England in 1974. We are... I conked the mute button again. We are, in fact, in London, England in 1974. Good job, Goog. Final score 39-450, which is better than Sam Ray. Oh, glory, triumph, victory, and drop those GGs in the chat for me. For today's edition of StatPad, we need hits in a season by a Cincinnati Reds shortstop, a Miami Marlins third baseman, a San Diego Padre who has amassed under 10 wins above replacement in his career, a person in the NL East who is now in the Hall of Fame, and a Philadelphia Philly of the 2010s. All right. Cincinnati Reds shortstop. I think we're going to say pick a year of Barry Larkin. That seems reasonable. Like, Ellie De La Cruz might have had something here, but I don't think he's not a dude who would have a whole bunch of hits. Because he's a modern guy, and modern guys strike out a lot, so no. Not a ton of hits. Yeah, it could be Barry Larkin. There could be a Zach Cozart year here. Like, I don't know, 2012 Zach Cozart could randomly be good. But I think we're going to go with 1996 Barry Larkin. That seems entirely reasonable. Maybe even 1992. 1992 Barry Larkin. 92nd percentile, 162 hits. Good job, Goog. It would have been pick a Barry Larkin year for the most part. Fine. A Marlins third baseman from 13 years before the Marlins existed to the present day. And the question here for me, this boils down immediately to three guys. And the three guys are Jeff Conine, Mike Lowell, and Miguel Cabrera. I don't think I'm going to say Miguel Cabrera, because while he did come up as a Marlins third baseman, they played him in the outfield a little bit, and they traded him when he was very young. So I don't think he was not like capital M, capital C, Miguel Cabrera for the time he was with the Marlins. So that leaves Jeff Conine and Mike Lowell. And I'm going to go with my assumption that it's possible that Jeff Conine wasn't a third baseman. I could be wrong about that. I'm thinking about it now, and I don't remember ever seeing Jeff Conine play the field, because he was like when I was young. So let's just say the Marlins traded Mike Lowell to the Red Sox in advance of the 2006 season. Part of the reason they did that was to get rid of his salary because they thought he was toast because he had been bad in 2005. So the question now is, do I go with 2004 Mike Lowell? I kind of like the idea of 2004 Mike Lowell. At the same time, the Marlins won the World Series in 2003. So presumably they would have had to have a good year from like guys on their roster in order to get there. Let's say 2003 Mike Lowell. 84th percentile. I'm okay with that. That's a reasonable number. You're never going to hit the tippity top. Also, you remember those things I was saying about Miguel Cabrera? It turns out they were bullshit. It turns out they were bad and dumb. It turns out I was stupid when I said those. I should have gone with a young Miguel Cabrera. Oh well. All right. A San Diego Padre who's amassed under 10 wins above replacement in his career. My first thought is Luis Arraez, because, dude, that dude hits a bunch of hits and doesn't do fucking anything else. Like, he's really fucking bad at defense, and he can't run, and he has no power, but he sure does hit some hits. Unfortunately, as I would have suspected, and as Sam has confirmed, he does have more than 10 wins above replacement in his career. So it's not going to be Luis Arraez. So what we're basically saying is we need, like, a really good year from a really young Padre, or just a total out-of-nowhere pop-up good season. So that's going to be tricky. Like, any Padre you can think of off the top of your head has more than 10 wins above replacement in his career. Like, you know, Xander Bogaerts, Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado. These guys are well and truly far past 10 WAR. What about Jake Cronenworth? Jake Cronenworth probably has more than 10, because he's been playing for like 3-4 years now, and he was pretty good for at least a couple of those. So, yeah, I think Jake Cronenworth has more than 10 wins above replacement in his career. If he doesn't, though, you know, second full season Jake Cronenworth has some potential here. Could also go with Jackson Merrill. Jackson Merrill could be the pull. But the thing is, I think Jackson Merrill, like, has had 2 excellent seasons, and 10 wins above replacement is basically just 2 excellent seasons. So we're going to try Jackson Merrill first. We're going to try 2025 Jackson Merrill. And it turns out that that was a good pull. It turns out that that's 94th percentile. So good job, Goog. The only, well, one of many that would have been better is, in fact, 2024 Jackson Merrill, who had a much better total of hits here. So, okay. All right, fine. Now we need hits in a season for someone who played in the NL East, and made the Hall of Fame. So, well, I mean, for one thing, I could just pull 2005 Miguel Cabrera. You got 100. Well, Miguel Cabrera's not in the Hall of Fame yet. Right. Miggy's not in yet. Okay, so it can't be Miguel Cabrera. Good job, StatPad, avoiding the cheating. So, I mean, my first thought is Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones got him a whole bunch of hits. Chipper Jones is in the Hall of Fame. The only thing is we've got to pull the right Chipper Jones year. There's a Mike Piazza year here, I'm sure. That is a ton of hits. Philadelphia Philly over this time. I mean, if you go back to 1980, I think you're touching Pete Rose, but Pete Rose is not in the Hall of Fame, so... Also, don't touch Pete Rose. That's gross, even when he was alive. Oh, God. I mean, if you include the Nationals, you've also got Expos era Vladimir Guerrero. So there could be like a, I don't know, 2002 Vladimir Guerrero? I think I'm overcomplicating things and I should just pick the right Chipper Jones year. What is the right Chipper Jones year? That's a good question. I'm going to say 1998 Larry Wayne Jones. 92nd percentile, 188 hits. We take those. Best would have been, I literally threw that out, 2002 Vladimir Guerrero. All right, fine. Okay. I'm still reasonably proud of this 92nd percentile. This has been, to this point, a good job by me. Now, we have to pull a Philadelphia Philly of the 2010s. So, it should be doable. You've got a bunch of Chase Utley's prime in there. Chase Utley might just be the answer. You've got Shane Victorino. Jimmy Rollins is a possibility. You know, this neatly touches, like, I think the end of Jimmy Rollins' prime. Because I know the Phillies won the World Series in 2009. So... yeah, you're talking Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, maybe Ryan Howard's best year. When did Howard blow out his Achilles? I think he blew it out in 2011. So you're basically just looking at 2010 or 2011 Ryan Howard. Oh, they won it in 08. And then, yeah, that's right. The Yankees won it in 09. Okay. And then at some point in there, they gave Ryan Howard a 5-year contract extension that kicked in the season after it was signed. And at the very final play of that season was Ryan Howard grounding out, and he tore his Achilles running to first base. So the very first thing that happened under Ryan Howard's new contract extension was him writhing in pain as the Phillies were eliminated from the playoffs, which was darkly funny, but also sad. Yeah, it wasn't a good time. I think that happened in 2010. It might have happened in 2011. My point is, I'm not saying Ryan Howard. I do think we're looking at 2011, 2012 Chase Utley. I don't know. I know he played the last few seasons of his career with the Dodgers, so let's look at this. Utley retired in 2018. I think he got traded there in like 15 or 16 probably, and was kind of washed before then. Let's just go 2012 Chase Utley. That seems reasonable. That should be up near the... I fumbled the bag. I fumbled the bag so bad. So apparently Chase Utley got hurt or something in 2012. Wasn't actually very good. I didn't mention any of these dudes. You know, Ben Revere had one random very good hit season. Who the fuck is Cesar Hernandez? Everybody remember Philadelphia Phillies legend Odubel Herrera? Placido Polanco and Jason Worth were both good players on the World Series champion Philadelphia Phillies. Okay, fine. 2011, they won 100 games. 2012, they were bad. Hey, I think I know part of the reason why they were bad in 2012. It might be because Chase Utley got hurt. It might just be because Chase Utley only got 77 hits in 2012, so he didn't contribute much to the offense, so they weren't very good. Sonny has to go now. We shall go as well. Folks, that is going to do it for us here today on Good Morning Mini Motorways. I intend to be back later this evening for more UFO 50. Hopefully we find more games like Camouflage and fewer games like Bad Platformer, the name of which I've already forgotten. We'll find out. This is the end screen. Goodbye.